You probably know the story about how I made Dennis laugh so hard he had to take a break. I met Dennis when I was living in Cleveland, and I did a live show called Morning Exchange, which is like a local Today show. So I walk in one day, and there's this large gentleman with white hair sitting in the chair of the regular host. And I was there to do a segment on the law on sexual harassment in the workforce. So I did my thing, maybe a 7 or 8 minute hit, and Dennis was impressed. And as I'm taking off my earpiece, I overheard somebody say to Dennis, "When are you going back to Los Angeles?" And I looked up and I said, "Are you from LA?" He goes, "Well, I'm not from there, but I live there now." And I said, "What do you do there?" He said, "I'm a radio talk show host." And I said, "I'm from Los Angeles." He said, "What are you doing in Cleveland?" I said, "Well, I came here several years ago to work for a law firm, and then I started a business, but eventually I'm going to go back to LA. And we talked a little bit about politics. Again, it was a 2-minute break, and Dennis was surprised to find out that I was a conservative. And he said, "The next time you're in LA, would you contact me and I'll put you on my show as a guest?" I said, "Sure." We exchanged contact information. Now that night I was talking to my mom. My mom loved talk radio. I was indifferent at best. And whenever I would be in the back where she would have the radio on, to me it was just noise and I didn't pay much attention to it. But the station where Dennis and I first worked was the first 24/7 talk station in the world. And I think it was 1965-ish when that station became a 24/7 talk station. My mother had it on that day and never had it off. Dennis had a show called Religion on the Line several years ago. That was his first radio show, and people still talk about it today. And then ultimately he became a Monday through Friday talk show host on that station. So, back to Cleveland. I called my mom that day, and we're talking about family news. And near the end of the conversation, I remember meeting Dennis, although I didn't remember his name. I said, "Mom, I met somebody who's in talk radio in LA. I know you know that scene, and I know you know everybody in talk radio." And she said, "What's his name?" I said, "His name is Dennis something or other. Dennis Pearson, Dennis Popper, Dennis." She said, "Prager?" And almost blew my ear off. It was as if I had met Elvis. She said, "Oh my God, he is my favorite talk show host. He is absolutely the best, the most profound, the most intellectual, the most knowledgeable." And I said, "And he suggested that the next time I'm home in LA, he'll have me on the show." He did? He doesn't have that many guests. What an honor. So fast forward to December. I'm home for Christmas. And I called Dennis. And he didn't return the phone call. And essentially, I forgot about it because I kind of thought it was a LA thing. You call me, I'll call you. But he was really kind of insincere about it. I didn't really believe Dennis was that sincere. So later on that day, my mother said, "Did you call Dennis?" I said, "Yes." She said, "What happened?" I said, "He didn't call me back." She said, call him again right now." She got the phone, slammed it in front of me, and said, "Call him right now." So I did. Dennis answered, and he had me on the show. And I was on for almost 2 hours. And a black guy called up. He was very angry, and he said, "Dennis, where'd you get this guy?" And I said, "Well, sir, Dennis was driving down the corner of Florence and Normandy, and I was holding up a sign saying, 'We'll speak negatively about black leaders for food.' And Dennis pulled over. And Dennis laughed so hard, we had to take a break. Dennis then recommended that management hire me. They gave me a 2-day audition. After 1 day, they made the offer. And the station manager, George Green, said, "Do you want this offer?" I said, "I think so." He said, "Well, go out tonight, have a good time, and don't speak so darn quickly." And I said, "George, I don't speak quickly. People hear slowly." He laughed almost as hard as Dennis. Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.